Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Ali. I am a founder of CyberWaze. Today, I have a very special guest, Prince Rana. He is a cybersecurity expert and have a proven experience in cybersecurity since over a decade. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mohammed. I'm very well, and thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. And it's been long. We have been waiting for the invitation, and here you are.
Finally,
it's our pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I came to know also that me and Prince have almost start of the careers, similar background of infrastructure. So I think we started our journey in the same platform, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because nowadays we talk about the cyber threat, cyber risk has exponentially increased. However, back in, if I talk about 2008 or 2006, it was a network security. It was a risk from the network side where we started our journey, and then how this transformed into the next level and the risk severity. I think we have seen that era.
Absolutely. And how was your experience and how was the journey from infrastructure? And I think what I feel like being an infrastructure expert at that time, it's been now transition to the cyber field. So the knowledge what we got for us, it's not going to be very difficult, and it's add more value when you understand things on the granular or technical level.
I think absolutely very well said, Mohammed, because if you want to be a cyber expert, if you want to be a security specialist, I think the fundamental requirement is to know about technology. Because if you know that technology, you're in a better position to know about the risk.
Yes.
You're in a better position to understand the risk, and you have a better approach to fix those risks as well. So I think that is the baseline, I would say.
That's a baseline. Okay. So one question when I ask a lot of cybersecurity expert, and of course, I mean, when I will ask you, and I'm expecting that the amount of experience you have dealing with CFO and board of governance in your organization, how when you're talking about security, cyber security and cyber risk in the organization, how you convince, let's say, the board of governance and CISO and CFO in terms of budget constraints that this is a cyber risk and this can be a business risk. I know because I've been to this situation and a lot of CISOs are facing these issues. So in your experience, can you share a highlight that what strategy you use to convince them that, hey, the cyber risk is a business risk, and to convert, sometimes as a cybersecurity experts and a technical people, we struggle to convert that language, from cyber to translate to business. And, business people understand business language.
Absolutely.
They don't understand about how many vulnerabilities we have in the system. So, yeah.
Absolutely, and a very good question, Mohammed. See, having in the industry from last 2 decades, one thing which I learned, boards are simple. They are absolutely simple. The only thing which they care about their business. CFO cares about only their revenue, right? So as long as you are able to align the cyber risk with the business priorities and the business objective, I think the things are going to be easy for you. Now, people say that cybersecurity is a cost center, it's not a revenue center. I think that's a fair thing. I'd say yes, cybersecurity is a cost, but let me start with some real world examples, right?
Sure.
See, in a retail world, especially in the luxury retail, right? A customer comes to you, right? When they see the value in your products, right? Customer need a valuable product, they comes to you and they trust you, right? And they give you their highly sensitive personal information, their data, their billing information, all resides with you. So in a fundamental, trust is the key for the business, right? Trust is the key, right? The moment you lose that trust, right? You are on a risk of losing your revenue and losing your customer. Right. So for me, I frame cyber into 3 fundamental business principles, right? Revenue protection, my customer trust, and enabling my business growth. These are the 3 fundamental values which I consider, right? Now, if I need to align with the business, if I need to show the value to the business that we are here for you, right? My approach is a very granular, and it's not a sequential, but it's in a parallel. Even starting from your vendor onboarding, your project implementation, your integrations, your testing, your go live. There's a whole set of actions in a background before you launch any e-com service or any public service. So security plays a very key role in it. Sometimes business feel that security is blocking me because you take so much time for testing. You need everything readily available. We are in a hurry. We need to catch the market. And somehow I agree with business. They have a revenue pressures, right? They have to meet the deadlines. So from the security side, I think it's important to be as a partner and go with the security as a design so that you embed your security every step of their objective, from vendor onboarding to implementation to testing. Give them the best practices in advance, that while they are implementing the project, guide them how to implement in a secure way. What should be the baseline in place? Because this will help you and them as well to make sure the baseline controls are in place, reduce the testing time, and before the final go live, I think it's going to be quick.
I absolutely agree on that. And, we face this challenge and whatever you mentioned, the baseline thing. Can you share any real scenario where you face an issue to convince the higher management for the budget constraint and, to convince them? It's not convince, actually, it's to convey them, like that this is what I need. And, sometimes we face the challenge to convince the higher management. Anything, just very summarized way, what challenge you face and how
to
you convince your higher management, say, I need this.
See, I'll give you one example where actually you gain the management trust. And I think this is important. If you gain the management trust, they will trust you and they're going to let you do with your strategies to support the business. So I'll give you one example. So SOC are the now key part in the cybersecurity. We all know the SOC Security Operations Center, right?
Yes.
So it's a key part for the security management. And see, management has that expectation you are going to secure the organization. But when it comes to the ground, when it comes to actually the utilization of SOC, you may not be able to cover holistically the whole organization or the production. So the things come, what exactly your SOC is covering today and what exactly is not being covered. Take an example that how your business is creating the revenue and what are the revenue generating asset. If you miss one or few of the assets, they're not a part of the SOC. So you're giving a wrong message to the top that your SOC is securing the organization. Like on ground, you are not. I think this was the one moment where as a CISO, as a head of security, I gave them the fair picture of what we are protecting today, what we are not protecting today. Now to protect this thing, what is required from the top management. Because see, management, like I said at the beginning, they care for the business. This is their baby. They need to protect their revenue, protect their customer. And if you show them the real value, today my coverage is only till this level. This is I'm not covering today. So now I need an additional control for that. Now this is your judgment, your sense. And your experience comes into the picture. What is your approach to cover the leftovers? So I think this is how you...
Absolutely. Trust is everywhere. Trust is a key element here. And I agree with you is what value is adding. And it's not about implementing tool and, there are many solutions in the market. It's about what value is adding and how to convince your management. And when the trust build relationship is there. So, of course, I think it's easy to translate what you required in terms of cyber risk to business risk and then the budget approval sector.
See, I think I want to add one more thing here. When it comes to the cyber budgets, I think it's very important to take a top to bottom approach instead of bottom to top approach. Now, there is a huge difference here. So if you want to be close to your management, if you want to be trusted, and if you want to that you should be close to your management, I think start from top to bottom. See, understand your business. Understand what value your business is delivering. What are your critical assets? What is your strategy is going to be to protect those assets? Until what extent you can protect? Because see, cybersecurity is not cheap. It's expensive.
It is.
It is expensive, right?
It is.
Just imagine if you spend maybe 2 or 3 million only for one tool, which is protecting your network security or something internally user related. For management, it is security. You are protecting the business. But on ground, you're protecting your endpoints. At the bottom, right? So I think it's very important to show them a bigger picture. Give them a holistic view and start with at least minimum 1 to 3 years. Wherever you are, give them a holistic view of their business and show them the risk in a business value. And then you draft your strategy. Then on risk-based, how much you want to spend to manage those risks.
Well, I think there are some valuable suggestions and I hope it will be so helpful for the audience. And thank you so much for sharing your real life experience. We couldn't get this very easily from people, Another question, which is, of course, very hot nowadays and it's not hot and it's about AI, agentic AI and adoption of AI. So, as in UAE is leading in terms of the implementation of AI, if you see in the government level, and we are seeing a lot of enhancement going on. So as you, in your organization, I split in 2 parts. One is the adoption of AI. what strategy you are using in your organization when you adopt AI. What are the tools and what checklist you have and what roadmap you follow, and then we'll come to the governance part. That of course, when you have AI, agentic AI, and there's so many AI things and adoption, then of course we need to cater the responsible AI and ethics of AI and all those things.
See, thank you for this question. By the way, this is one of my favorite topic, which I always personally I invest my time
Okay.
into AI, but not only in the security, but actually in the adoption of the AI as well.
It's must.
Yeah, because this is something I think everyone should be aware of. If you are in the technology, even in the business, you should know what this technology is about.
Yeah.
And one thing I am heavily surprised to see that AI made technology so easy. To adopt an AI and to use an AI and to get a benefit of AI, you don't need that much of skills.
Yeah.
Anyone can in the world can utilize the benefit of the AI. And to start with, answer your question, and I'm really thankful and I'm really happy to see the kind of progress the UAE authorities and the UAE government is moving towards the AI. The way the government has advised to opt for the AI utilization, and you might be aware that UAE has their own LLM, which is a Falcon, which is a homegrown large language model, which they are using for their sensitive departments and for the internal use. And I think this is where the tone gets set. If you see your leadership, how the leadership is understood this technology and the way they are adopting. Now let's come to the private organizations here in the country, right? One thing I see in the private sector, everyone wants to adopt AI. They want AI quickly. They want a business benefit. They want a cutting edge. They want to grow their business with the help of AI. But the thing here is they are today trying to adopt AI the way they were adopting the standard softwares, ERPs and the traditional core application and other application. So this is where the actual gap and the risk comes into the picture because you are trying to follow the same governance, same security, same adoption practices. AI is much powerful what you have as on date. This technology is different. And surprisingly, it is widely easy. Surprisingly, it's easy to adopt, right? But the question is, this is a smart technology. It learns from you. It learns from your data, right? So I think instead of having a question that which AI I should use, I think the question should ask what data I can give to AI.
Absolutely, is our data basically.
This is your data, exactly. What data you can give to AI, where this data is going to be hosted. Who is going to have access to this information, right? Because this is a generative artificial intelligence, so it will generate further. It will learn from your technology, and you might be on a risk. You might be on the risk of losing your business intelligence, your intellectual property, your business secrets. Because every business grow in a certain way because you have some specialty which other company doesn't have. But if you input all your strategies into unknown AI, then definitely this is going to be a challenge. Now, in terms of adopting the AI, so I think in my experience and the organization I worked till date, I think it's a very firm approach by the government, and thankfully the UAE leadership and the business owners are well aware about the AI, right? And there's a controlled approach. Only the approved AI tools are authorized to use, not the free tools, not the other tools. There is a proper governance practice in place, how these tools are going to be used, what data is going to be ingested in the tools. And the another layer comes into that what is the use of AI? What is the exactly use of AI? So for example, is it going to increase the user productivity? Very good. I give to my critical users so that their productivity is increased, the quality of work is increased, error rates are reduced, right? So they're doing it better work. So this is for the user productivity. But for the senior management, you need to give a better visibility of the data. They need a better analysis, right? So in a traditional way, you have a business intelligence, you have a reporting team, they prepared a fancy reports for the management. But today, with the help of AI, they can get the real-time analysis of their business view. What is being sold? What is not being sold? Which products are on the risk? Why these products are at risk? Is the geopolitics is impacting their business operation? They have the vendors, they have a partners. What are these high-risk contract, right? What are the value of the overall the contract? So the life becomes so easy where you have to, like previously, you have to raise a request, ask the team, they're going to go and validate and provide you the details. Today, I have everything in a one window. Right. So this is what the business is trying to get a value out of AI. But the biggest question is how?
And I like what you said. Basically, it's about what use case in your organization implement. Let's say management have its own use case, and you
Yep.
need to present the AI model, what data they have to see, what dashboard they have to see, in an optimized way. And the user level, we cannot introduce AI tools where, I mean, it's not benefited for the specific industry or organization based on the use case. So the value addition is very important.
Absolutely.
And what you told about the adoption and what checklist you follow, I think that's, you are right, that it should be approved AI tools, because there is a black box. Some of the tools we don't know what data they are taking and how they are using the data. So I just want you to touch the governance part. So do you think that organizations, now is everybody is adopting AI, it's come from the leadership from the top in the UAE and now the private organizations. It's a governance still immature, or you see there are a lot of laws are coming for the framework for the AI, especially in UAE also. And do you think that, sorry, I'm asking so many questions.
Please,
But do you
go
think
ahead.
as a defender, we are winning, or the attackers on the other hand, they have an edge because they are also
Mythos.
using AI.
Mythos.
Yeah.
See, I would say AI is still evolving. It is still evolving. It is still getting better and better and better. And it will be far better what we expect today, right? In terms of, I'll answer your last question first, right? In terms of the defender. So, in terms of security, that what is your approach? How you are leveraging AI to protect organization? First of all, it make security experts' life bit easy. It started giving them the business context now instead of running behind the technical logs, and even the SOC also. Nowadays, most of the modern SOC, they are utilizing AI at their best. Even I have seen the trend from last 1 year, the number of incident SOCs drastically reduced.
Yeah.
And they give you very precise now, very targeted to the point action which needs to be taken. Now, they tell you, yes, we are using the AI, but there's an analyst sitting. Previously, analyst has the alert fatigue. They are just juggling around thousands of logs, and then they tell you, okay, this is, you may check, right? But now this approach is, I see it's drastically reduced, and this is all because of AI. Now, in terms of organization where I need like a number of people to manage so many things, I think AI is reducing that workload also. Right. For example, for your vendor risk assessment, there's a number of tools in the market. There's a special TPRM team used to sit in the companies, right? That work has been drastically shrinked, right? You have a visibility of the vendor risk score. Just ask your AI tool, and it can fetch all the public information is available. At least you get a basic sense of the risk, and then definitely you have to go through more in detail, but you have a initial visibility. So you are not spending your cost and the resources now to do the job. You have readily available in a one window. So I think AI is touching most of these areas in a very positive way, but I still feel that now the defender and the attacker, it's more between machine to machine. Because nowadays, I believe almost 80 to 90% codes are written by AI. 80 to 90% codes are
Have
written
you
by
seen
them.
those phishing emails? How it's
Absolutely
it's
stunning.
getting
No
stunning.
errors, nothing.
Exactly.
You can't see any differentiator.
Yes.
Even okay, you follow the grammatical errors. You check the sender, receiver. No,
Yeah.
the mail actually coming from the actual domain. No errors at all.
Well, I don't want to scare, but I believe in terms of attacker perspective, I think they might have an edge because they just need one phishing email to be click, and then
Out
you
of
are
1,000,
done.
one
Out
fish,
of one, and you are done.
and you're done.
So yes, I agree with you, and what you said, it's a different angle you touch about that how important it is that the governance is coming, and also you mentioned about the SOC, which is, of course, I will take you to the another question which is relevant to the SOC and AI based SOC in the market. You mentioned one point about SOC, that there's a lot of data. And because I've been working in the SOC, and what we experience also, and in terms of services, so there's a lot of data, and there's a lot of correlation, and a lot of tools. So moving towards the modernized SOC, which of course AI based SOC, whatever you name it nowadays. So what do you think? How this transition is going on, and how optimized we are doing the SOC from traditional to the modern SOC? And how it helps to the analysts and L2, L3 support in the SOC who are sitting to be more effective in when there are alerts. They should know the exact data based on the AI tool and for the remediation, and you're taking an action, etc. So will it's helping for the defender perspective that we are moving towards an era of modernized SOC, but or just a name of a modernized SOC. The things are same, and then the AI is just fetching some optimized information for you.
Very
Your
good
thoughts?
question. Very good question, Mohammed. And I'll give you my real world experience in this domain.
That's what we need
Right.
from you.
Seriously,
Yes.
because this is something because I said this is my personal interest. I keep investing my time to see how the AI works. Today, the challenge for the enterprise is let's start with AI adoption in the enterprise. The main challenge which I think the managements feel about the AI first is accuracy of the results, traceability, and I would say auditability, and the security is the last, right? If AI has given you some output, on what basis this output has come? This is one of the key challenges in the industry. It doesn't matter even you use Claude, or the ChatGPT, any other company. This is the key concern with all the models. Now, coming back to security. Now, I told about my real world experience. See, one challenge which I face with the AI used with the security tools, AI is working on the background, but on what basis, it's not clear. When we ask the question on what basis it reached to this conclusion, this is AI. I understand, but what's the reason behind?
Some of the vendors we saw there's the AI based this and AI based that.
AI is
but
there,
is no,
but what is the rationale behind?
yeah.
You are giving me something on a high risk.
Yeah.
Priority one. Priority one means everyone need to be on fire. We need to wake up and take action.
Yeah.
But can you just give me the rationale behind?
Yeah.
What is the reason behind? It's our AI. And then you think, I think it's good to have an AI, but if you don't have a rationale behind, no one is going to trust on this. This is, I think, the majority of the software company, some of the security vendors, right? Because the AI is a buzzword. The moment you say AI, you say, oh, this is the latest technology. We need to give chance to this vendor, right? Because they are keeping it on the back end. But if you cannot give a rationale behind your outputs, I'm not sure that the business would be happy to accept this part, right? Now, coming to the SOC part, like I gave you the one example in terms of the adoption of AI, whether it's you're adopting in a security, whether you're adopting in a business environment, right? As long as you have a rationale behind. Now, this is a whole set of technology, which maybe we can cover in some other podcast.
Yeah, we can speak all day about
exactly,
this, but yes.
I can just explain you how this process works. How can you make sure the traceability, auditability, accuracy. There's a different world behind that, right?
Absolutely.
But I think in the security also it is important. When you are using AI in your SOC world as well, definitely it's a transformative. It will reduce the human effort. It will give you the better visibility. It will let actually human works on the real life incident, the real value incident where you see the risk. Instead of juggling with the 20 things, you will focus only one thing, which is the key risk for the business. So I think AI is doing their job, but the only thing is, either you are in a very hurry, you want to implement it quickly in a one go, or you want to have in such a way where you have a rationale for yourself and give this rationale to your customer as well.
That's a very important message. And I think this will be really helpful that in terms of adoption, you shouldn't be in a hurry. It should be the rational, the use case should be there, and just see what value is adding. Let's say if it's in the SOC, of course, if it's optimizing your logs, it's optimizing your efforts and for the modernized SOC. So don't follow for the tools and etc. We are not against any vendor, but that's the best approach we should adopt. And I really like your opinion on that.
Thank you.
Let's go to another area, and I will touch the part of governance. And since we had some discussion and your face is telling that you are a governance guy.
Yes, that is a key part.
Yeah.
That's a key part of my
So
role.
I'm not a governance guy, but I love to listen people from the governance perspective. And I love, governance, they are policy people, and every line and every word matters in governance. So tell me about in UAE and being a head of cyber, and of course you have been dealing a lot of governance stuff in your organization and career.
Yep.
So UAE have a lot of frameworks and laws and etc. So when you're implementing in your organization the proper cybersecurity posture with proper governance, what methodology you took and how you automate that? because there are a lot of policies and there are a lot of Excel sheet behind and controls and mapping and make sure that this is according to this framework we are totally compliant. So how you are dealing this kind of headache and what's your strategy?
See,
Share some tips.
See, I think I started governance work back from 2014 when I started working with Deloitte. Like we started in the beginning, right? We were a core tech, hardcore network security. So fully technology.
And then you moved to the governance part
then
of controls.
When I came to consulting, and it was just like
different world.
Totally a different world.
It is absolutely.
Because when you come to the consulting, we actually see the value of your controls, and you get to know that whether it's working or it's not working. When you're in technology, you just go and implement when your job is done. But governance is give you a visibility of what actually have you done, how it is going to benefit to the company, and if you don't do it, what can happen with you.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So I think that time I started my work with the governance, and definitely today, governance is a baseline for me and for my function, because governance sets a standard and the guidelines that how the technology is going to be implemented. What are the baseline control which you have in place right now? I'm talking about the internal governance, where the management want to see the value of their investment, right? Because technology comes with a good cost, right? So now to adequately implement that technology, you need some governance framework, the baseline fundamental which we do. In terms of UAE and the GCC framework, I think from last 2 years, this region has grown up drastically. There are a number of new governance and the compliance standard came, especially for the cyber. And now they are directly applicable to the critical industries, to the government, and some of them are the private sector as well. DIFC has their different regulation. UAE PDPL has applicable to throughout the country. Central Bank has their different regulation for the fintech and the banks separately here. Now, for me, the approach here is to at least to have a baseline practice in place, get this concerned and reviewed by the management, give it to the respective stakeholders. Unfortunately, this practice is still immature, I would say. And also the effectiveness of governance, I would say slightly needs to be mature further. The reason being, even till date, the governance talks about only having a control. This is a very important part. Governance talks about having a control. No regulation till talks that whether your control is working or not working. This is what we call resilience. This is the resilience part. So I think this part is most important if you want to be protected from cyber. If you say compliance and security is the one thing, I'm sorry, it's wrong. They are two different worlds. You are just complying with a document, having that control in place.
That's the main thing.
But if the control is not working, you're not secure. Your company is not secure. Your investment may not be useful for the management.
Any tip you will share how you handle in your current organization? You mentioned already, but any advice you can give to the other cybersecurity expert in terms of governance to ensure that you are compliant? Of course, there are a lot of challenges. Do you think that you mentioned already the tool will come and automation will come later, but then you should have a baseline.
Baseline is important.
That's very important. So can you share any scenario where you implement it as a kind of standard and as a framework in your organization and that really helped maybe you can go any out of the box and people are not following for the compliance perspective?
No, definitely. I think this is a very beautifully put question. I'll tell you some real world examples
because
here.
Even myself, when we implement, we see there are all policies there and procedures there, but still every organization,
They are not aligned.
They just totally work in silo.
Absolutely.
So how your advice can help them, if you just share any example, like anything.
Definitely. This is a very important question. And the most of the time, like you rightly mentioned, the gap comes when the two teams working in silos.
Yeah.
Policy team knows about policy and the implementation know about the controls.
Exactly.
But they are not aligned with each other. So my approach always, I think, since I started my journey in the governance, I think I never started with policies. My policies are my third step. My first approach here is to just see what has been implemented. What are the current practices?
As assessment.
What is the current practices? Even forget about the governance and the policy procedure, just keep it aside. First thing is, If you are an experienced professional and if you know about technology, if you know about the risks, so that means you will understand the processes very well. And because in this market, one thing I noticed, many of the company, they are highly mature in terms of practice. They have a good practices in place.
Yep.
But when it comes to procedure and the policies,
Yeah.
they said, sorry, but if something happened tomorrow, I have this much and I can control in this way, right? So I would say these guys are doing their job. They are good in their job. They did the work, right? Now, as a governance, it's your responsibility and you need to be well aware about how the technology works. So that's what I said at the beginning, that understanding technology is a key if you want to be in a security and risk.
Yeah.
If you don't understand technology, sorry, it may be a wrong profession.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to go understand the technology, understand the current process, come back, document it. Ki this is what is have, right? And whatever is missing, put a delta over it. Ki, okay, you are aligning out of 100, you are aligning with the 60 best practices, but you need to have a 40 more. To have a 40 more, give them a 2-year roadmap, maybe 1-year roadmap. Align with the CIO. Ki, okay, this is what you should have. Once you align, your policy will be well accepted. But if you're writing something which even does not cover what is today's happening, then I think it's an issue.
No, that's really, I hope it will be really helpful. And I think you gave the right example that the baseline thing, and that summarizes everything that it should be there. Then the technology and everything comes after that.
Yep.
We are discussing so many things going on, and I think I'm come to another question. I will not take much time.
No problem, please.
It's
a very
just,
interesting
we are going
conversation.
to the end.
I'm
Yeah, so we
enjoying
are
it.
making it really, interactive. So another question we touched for the first element. Now let's go to the board of governance and we discuss about that, about the business, the cyber risk to convince to the business risk. But what do you think that when you're talking to the board of governance, of course you also have some board of governance and heads on you. So do you think that talking to them in a cyber language sometimes, we think that they will not convince? So is it very important to some kind of, because I feel always there is a gap. They are as a different language, they understand something else in the very high level executive things as a kind of dashboard we have to present. Let's say there are vulnerabilities, there are risk. If we present them so many things, they're lost. So it's challenging. We discussed that, but I want you to address that. Any example you can give that how to address the board of governance, that when you have risk, vulnerabilities, etc., being a head of cyber or something, to address them, what are those approach? Because the gap is there still, and some of the head of cyber, even I met, they struggle to convey their message to to their board of directors or governance.
No,
Is it a different language? Is it something
I think very standard practice. This is very standardly is happening in industry, right?
Okay.
And I don't blame anyone, neither business nor to the technology guys, right? Because see, they are doing their job rightly, right?
Yeah.
Business know about business, how my business works, what my revenue stream comes. Tech guy is expert in the tech. The main thing is the common language between both. For example, let's take an example. If I speak Russian and Hindi, and you speak Chinese and some other language, right? And now we need to speak. And what is the common language which we could speak? That's English, right? So we know that, okay, my English is a little bit English, so now we are able to common speak. So I think that sets the foundation that what is the common language between both, right?
Sure.
Now, most of the security professionals, even my team members, they're very good in explaining CVs. They're very good in explaining what's wrong when the CV was discovered, who actually cracked the CV, how many times it exploited.
But they are unable to explain the impact, that language, they can explain the technical jargons.
They can explain the technical jargon. Like I said at the beginning, there are 3 key things only which business care. My revenue, my customer, and my operational impact. Is my operations maybe get impacted? Take an example of Marks and Spencer UK. 16 million pounds they lost in a fraction of 2 to 3 weeks. Now, this message is very clear to their management that they lost the money. Unfortunately, no one from technology explained the risk in their language to them. Everyone was saying, my systems are outdated, this application is outdated, we need to move to the latest version. And this message, because I did my research on this and I found that they were using obsolete technology. And it is all managed by in-house team. And technology was really obsolete, but no one conveyed this message in a right language, which business could understand. That tomorrow, someone can hack to your system. They can shut down your business. Your e-com could be totally down. Even your boutique operation could be totally stopped because your core application is dependent on them, right? So that message did not pass to the board, right? Otherwise, I'm sure that any board, if they get this message, they're going to go and get this fixed quickly. So I think the language is a very important part. Today, the most successful CISOs I met and I know in my peers, honestly, see, I don't want to be like biased or harsh here, but the most successful CISOs are the business leaders. The business leader who get some understanding of security, and they are taking this top position of this CISOs. Because the point here is they understand the business very well. They got to understand technology and they hire some security engineers within their team, and they are the best one.
No, I think I agree, and the language should be common. And there is what you mentioned, the way how you present, because some technical jargons, they don't understand. But it's all about, you mentioned the 3 steps. I forget again. The one is the revenue,
your
yes,
customer, and your operations.
I think that's
the key base for every industry.
Yeah,
every industry. This is the key.
Yeah,
and the challenge here is, security team is very much busy in investments, implementing a control, implemented technology.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the business, there could be some of the system which are not even managed by your technology.
Yeah.
There are some of the system that is totally separate, and these systems are responsible for a revenue.
Yeah.
But that is not part of your scope.
Yeah.
Have you conveyed this message to your management? Okay, sorry, I am investing money on this system, but I'm not responsible for it because that is beyond my control.
Yeah.
So I think, from the department wise, IT is a department. Technology is a one function in an organization. But when it comes to the cyber, it cannot be a one silos function. It must be an enterprise-wide function.
Yes.
Who has a reachability to every department, every function of the organization. Because when cyber hit, it hit the organization, not the function.
And then you cannot even, so the risk is enterprise-wide.
It's enterprise-wide. You cannot blame a one function that function didn't do its job.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this is where the key message here is to just keep your cyber out and get a better visibility of your enterprise risk instead of a departmental or a system level risk.
Yeah. So we almost finished all the questions, but my favorite questions is left is the last part where you will share one of your experience and a message to the young cybersecurity experts there and people and students and the professional and advanced. So any message, anything in your personal, first, any scenario where you face, you can even share any real life scenario in your working, you face anything, and a message for them, because there are many cybersecurity students you are still studying and they want to pursue, cybersecurity is having so many paradigms. It's a very huge field. So any message you will share with, first is the professional, and then the professional and expert, and then the students.
Yeah, the student. Okay.
Let's segmentize.
See, honestly, I won't feel that I'm at that level of expert who can, guide this professional, because I'm also on my learning curve. The one thing which I take care is my learning, that we need to keep learn, I think. See, one thing which I personally adhere, technology is evolving. It's much faster than the speed of adoption. I think the one thing which is important is a learning and the understanding of technology, how it is evolving. Because the better you understand the tech world, the better you are in a position to protect that world.
Yeah.
Definitely business is also go in a similar way. If you're in a head position or CISO, definitely you know your business, but keep your business skills at the top of it, right?
By the way, many of the kids ask this question, and that correlates that is AI will take their jobs.
Okay, now this is a very question I think
everybody
people
asks,
say in a different way. See, I think every generation see a different era of technology, a different era of challenges, right? There was a revolution in 90s, 20s, which was industrial revolution, we call it. Robotics arms came. The people who were working with hands, they lost their job, right? And I think till date, back in if I say around 2 decades before, we see the revolution only related to the hand job, right? Where you are using your muscles power, whether it's you're automating the things, whether it's a 3D technology or construction related or any other technology. This is the first time now the technology reached to that stage where your cognitive abilities are being challenged.
Yep.
You spend a lot of time in a university, in a colleges to get experience, to learn about coding, to learn about the skills, right? Now that part is getting automated. That's where the panic has started, right? See, technology will not take your job, but if you do not upgrade yourself, then someone
That's what
else
I
who know the
say.
technology is going to
AI
take your
will
job.
not take your job, but you should know how to use AI. If you are behind that, then you will lose your
If you are
job.
behind, then absolutely
That's
not.
what even that's the message even I was saying. So you
But
should know
yeah,
how to adopt those tools and how to be upgraded now. That's very important.
but I think one thing is fundamentally clear that the number of the existing job definitely going to be reduced, because I have seen
Yeah.
this in my era also, because the workload has been increased. The number of things are being automating, right?
Yeah.
You're getting a better analysis, better view. Even the coders are totally into the different zone, right?
Yeah.
And the another thing is technology is so simplified now. To make a software, you no need to learn computer language because computer has learned your language.
Yeah.
So you can just write a prompt in your language, and the computer is expert enough to write a code behind.
Yeah.
Right.
Last message to the head of cyber or CISOs are listening. Any experience or anything you will share in current scenario for them, any message for them? Because of course you are heading and you have a lot of experience. So any message you want to share? That's for
Honestly,
experts. We
that's
get
for
away
the-
from kids and students now the CISO level.
The CISO level, what message I should give? Because see, in my peers, we always keep exchanging our thoughts. We keep learning from
So
each other.
any knowledge
experience.
It can be a knowledge. It can be something your practical experience and you are facing in your current job, but you want to share that. Please look after this thing. Maybe it can be a very small thing. Sometimes because we ignore the things, but it has to be
I'm just trying to get some thoughts here. See, one thing which I'm trying to follow nowadays, that do not limit yourself within a particular boundary or a geography, right? If you say I'm security, it's good you're security, but just keep growing, keep expanding your horizons, because technology is getting vast, right? So there is
and after AI, the attacks
after
are
AI,
increasing. Everything you have to be
everything. So don't limit yourself in your job description or in your KPIs boundary.
It's a good message.
Just go beyond that. Just go beyond. Challenge your abilities. Challenge yourself. Learn more skills. Learn about new technologies, new business in new systems, and just try to move ahead.
Zero trust.
Zero
Always
trust.
verify and never trust.
Always verify. Just try to move forward.
Yeah.
Learn about the things and try to go to the next level. Don't limit yourself within the boundaries of even your GD or your KPI. Just keep growing. That's the only thing I would like to say.
No, that's a really very good message, and I think it came from your heart, and it's so genuine. That's what we want, and I absolutely agree that don't limit yourself. After the revolution of AI and the technology is booming, so their responsibility also comes, because the attack surface increase and threat landscape is increasing. So always make sure that you cover all the aspects. And thank you so much for your time. And it's been really a pleasure to have you. And I hope we will have another session. The round two will come soon with you. But thank you so much, and we'll be in touch. And
thank you so much, Mohammed. Really appreciate your time.
I hope that we'll get, the audience get a lot of knowledge, because our purpose is spreading the cyber awareness. And there are many things we discuss. It's all about to ensure that not only for students and the cybersecurity professionals will get benefited for that, and that's really really helpful for the people like you and other cybersecurity experts. Spread this awareness all over the cyber world. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.